Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundhati Ramnan and with me is Shruti Mishra. These are the top headlines from the startup world. Atomberg, a consumer appliances brand, gets $86 million in its Series C funding round, led by Temasek and Steadview Capital. Existing investor A91 Partners has also sold a small part of its stake in this transaction.
Smartwatch brand Noise is in talks for its first ever fundraising round as it competes for the top spot in the Indian market, Bloomberg News reported. It is in talks with potential investors to raise $40 to $50 million to add products and gain market share in India.
US-based The Private Shares Fund slashes the fair valuation of edtech unicorn Eruditus by 9% in the March quarter. The Private Shares Fund, which has a 0.2% stake in Eruditus, has pegged the fair value of its 36,264 shares at $4.66 million, effectively valuing the edtech at $2.9 billion, down from its previous valuation of $3.2 billion as per reports.
Market regulator SEBI penalizes social media financial advisor Gunjan Verma for providing unregistered investment advisory services, orders her to pay 1 lakh rupees as penalty and refund the fees that she charged from clients.
Ola to pilot Prime Plus, a service that will offer top cars and drivers at free of cancellations in Bengaluru. Co-founder and CEO Bhavish Agarwal announced on Twitter. He said the new category will go live with select users.
Temasek cut compensation for the team that recommended investing in the now bankrupt FTX and for senior management as they take collective accountability for the failed investment. The move comes around 6 months after Temasek initiated an internal review of its investment in FTX, which resulted in a write-down of $275 million. Well, those were the headlines we've been tracking for you this evening. Our top story, 6,000 leading international domestic and D2C brands gear up for the 18th edition of Myntra's biannual End of Reason sale. The fashion shopping carnival starts from June 1st and has more than 20 lakh fashion, beauty and lifestyle products. To talk to us about the End of Reason Sale 18 and the key trends, joining me now is Myntra CEO Nandita Sinha. Nandita, welcome back to Startup Street. First up, tell me what kind of investment Myntra has made for the End of Reason Sale 18, and also what kind of sales are you hoping to achieve at a time when shopping across e-commerce platforms is growing slower than anticipated. You know, according to Unicommerce data, the beauty and personal care category has also seen a significant downturn in the March quarter, climbing about 11% on year in FY22. The category expanded 143%. So that's significantly slower. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you so much for having me here today. Always a pleasure being here. And as you said, we all are very, very excited to present the 18th edition of EORS. And I think always our strength has been our ability to bring together merchandise which brands and sellers create for us. 2 million styles go on, are part of this event with 6,000 plus brands across different types. I think what has been interesting for us in this edition is the fact that we've been able to create very, very delightful experiences on 3 pivots. One is on customer cohort, second is on category type, and third is on innovation that will really drive growth for us and the fashion experience becoming much more seamless for the customers. I'll talk about the second part of the pivot, which is category. I think you spoke about slowdown, but I think what we have been witnessing has been a tremendous growth in beauty as a category. It's been growing much ahead of the platform, and has been actually adding to our growth as our customers are expanding their basket in the beauty category. And what has emerged as a part of this for our learning is that as we are offering unique merchandise, as we are offering solutions to customers in key categories, we are seeing actually categories grow. Footwear is another category which is going to see almost a 30% growth versus last year's edition because of the merchandise that has been added across different brand types. We've been able to partner with Converse as a unique launch for EORS, but also expand the portfolio of the category with Nike Global Selection coming uniquely on the platform for the first time in the country through the Myntra platform. So I think a lot of innovation on the category side. For the ethnic category also, we are seeing tremendous growth because of a property called Runway Icon, which is bringing premium ethnic wear to our customers.
Okay.
I think one big pivot, which we spoke about earlier in the month, or somewhere midway in the quarter, was Forward, which was our launch for Gen Z, Fashion for Gen Z, the largest fashion platform for Gen Z. It's an app-in-app experience which helps Gen Z customers really explore fashion. We have 500 plus brands, 65,000 plus styles, and in a 1 month of launch has been actually doing very well for us. And finally, I think the pivot is around how do we innovate for fashion. And you've seen some of the innovations which we've done around My Fashion GPT, etc. So that's the real pivots that we are taking in this edition of EORS, but very, very excited to present international brands, D2C, and national brands growing across this edition of EORS.
All right, Nandita, speaking of partnerships, Shah Rukh Khan is the face of End of Reason Sale 18. What kind of value add are you hoping he brings in terms of sales? Also, what is the larger partnership with him, and how does it go beyond the End of Reason Sale, helping Myntra in further brand building?
I think End of Reason Sale is really the flagship event for fashion in the country. And it is for all customer types, whether it is metro customers, Gen Z customers, or our non-metro customers. And I think what we realized as we were building towards EORS was that if there is one person in this country who actually cuts through across all customer cohorts, whether it's younger customers, the Gen Z customers, or the metro premium customers, men and women, is actually Shah Rukh Khan. And therefore we thought that for us to be able to build the fashion proposition of EORS, but also Myntra, it was important for us to go with someone who was as universally loved as Shah Rukh Khan and who has his own sense of style that he brings to the table. And therefore, we kind of struck this partnership. We are seeing tremendous response from across our customers to to this partnership and what he represents and what he brings to the table. I think this will help us build EORS, but also Myntra in across metro, non-metro, and across all customer segments. So we are very excited about that.
Okay, very, very quickly, Nandita, if you could tell us what kind of order volumes are you expecting and what will be your top markets? Also, what is the average order value that you're expecting this season?
I think what is very, very interesting for us as we get into EORS edition, what we will actually see is almost 15 million new visitors come from non-metro towns for EORS 18, which means that we will see a lot of growth from non-metro cities who are actually experiencing a lot of new brands and new selection and new fashion for the first time through EORS and through Myntra. I think what is also very interesting is that from a technology standpoint, from a back-end technology standpoint, we are gearing for almost 900K concurrent users at one point in time. And finally, at the backbone of everything that we do are our delivery partners, our Mensa partners, who are actually 17,000 of them who are gearing up for 12 lakh plus shipments at scale. So I think this is where the scale really comes in. We spoke about the selection, which is 2 million selections, 6,000 brands. So I think every year the scale of EORS is only increasing, and we are building the ecosystem to be able to service this scale through both our brand partnerships, but also our delivery partnerships.
All right, Nandita, we've completely run out of time and wish you the very best with End of Reason Sale. And it's always a pleasure talking to you on Startup Street. Many thanks for joining.
Same here. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
All right. Moving on. SaaS startup Builder.Ai recently raised $250 million in its Series D funding round led by Qatar Investment Authority. The round also saw participation from existing investors including Iconic Capital, Jungle Ventures and Insight Partners. Now, with this new fundraise, the venture has till date bagged over $450 million in funding and claims that its valuation has shot up by 1.8x. To talk to us about the road ahead, joining me now is Builder.Ai's chief wizard and founder, Sachin Dev Duggal. Also joining us is my colleague Arundhati. Sachin, welcome back to Startup Street. You claim your valuation has jumped 1.8 times. So where are you currently valued at? And if you could also take us through the current business growth numbers, the revenue numbers, and what is the road to profitability looking like?
Gosh, all questions that we can't really talk about. But we've seen considerable customer growth. If I think about when we came out of beta in April 2020, we were sub 10 million in annualized revenue, and so we finished April 2023, some 3 years onwards, we're over 200 million in run rate revenue. So you can see that we're not only seeing a large amount of volume growth, but we're also seeing both the upper movement of the stack doing more and more enterprise, but interestingly, still growing that really important belt for us, which is the micro SMB globally, whether it's partnerships with large operators like Etisalat, or the early partnership we even have with IDFC in India.
Right. We'll talk about your partnerships a little further on in the show. Hi, Sachin. Arundhati here. You're an AI-powered composable software platform and claim to have deployed about 40,000 features to customers within the last year. So what are you solving for and who are you solving for? Give us some of these use cases.
It's a great question, and thank you so much for asking it. When we think about building software today, it's really quite complicated. But the average customer now, thinks Java is a coffee bean you buy at Starbucks. When you ask them, to use Excel, they might use it with a calculator. But these are folks that now need to become digitally native. And so this could be an enterprise user. And in the enterprise user, they are trying to do digital transformation within a department. They could be building a new front-end experience for how they engage with customers. It could also be an entrepreneur that's trying to build their MVP or their version 1, so that they can then use whatever additional budget they have to build whatever is proprietary technology for them. But it could also be the micro SMB, it could be the restaurant, the salon, the spa, that's trying to become digitally native. The beauty with Builder's platform is that it's Lego-like reusable features combined with AI with 600 features that let you build just about anything. We kind of stay away from gaming and VR because I think the TAM we're after is big enough on its own for us for the next decade.
Okay. Sachin, now let's quickly come to your Series D funding round. With the fresh funds raised, you want to enhance your innovation pipeline, you want to invest in talent, partnerships, and of course, technology. If you could elaborate on these plans and the new offerings that are there in the pipeline.
Yeah, look, and I think this is the second announcement we've made on terms of partnership with someone or fundraising. Earlier on it was Microsoft, now it's QIA along with existing investors. And what you'll see is for us continuing to build on our North Star, which is how do we make conversation the user interface for how people can build software? If we made it as simple as simply picking up the phone, having a chat, talking to Natasha, our AI, whether she's in Teams, within an enterprise, whether you're calling her, whether it's a WhatsApp conversation or through our web experience. If the only thing you need to do is talk, and then software could listen and then build you a digital solution for the problem you're trying to solve, the idea you're trying to build, or the business process that you're trying to digitally transform, that really transcends what we think the future holds, right? Because ultimately also the very nature of software is changing. We used to think about software applications that hung around for years. Today they hang around for months before they get updated. We all know this through the App Store and how many times we update. And in the future, just this very conversation with you lovely ladies would be powered by a piece of software to augment the conversation. And that's really where we think the direction is changing.
Oh, all right. You just mentioned your partnership with Microsoft. So that came before this fundraise. And they made an equity investment in your company in a push to make software development accessible to the next set of non-tech users. So talk to us about the Microsoft backing and who else are you looking to partner with?
I think the Microsoft partnership was many years in the making. And the Microsoft India team have been exceptional. We've had support from Anand and Ahmed all the way across Southeast Asia and the US. And I think it's because there is an alignment around mission. Microsoft and Builder believe that digitally transforming the next 100 million ideas, digitally transforming small businesses to become digitally native is such an important part of the generational change that we're seeing. And so this partnership is stemmed around alignment of vision and purpose. It's stemmed around a technology stack that both sides can collaborate. So for example, our AI Natasha can now be available or will soon be available within Teams. And at the same time, we're working very closely with Azure, we're working very closely with Microsoft AI to enhance her capabilities, but also for our own customers, so that as they start making this route to becoming digitally native, they have the right infrastructure that's running it as well.
Sure.
And then last but by no means least is going to partners, going to customers, and really allowing them together to get the benefit A good example of this is with Etisalat and with others, we're launching, the digital starter kit where you get Office, you get an app, you get infrastructure all rolled into a single monthly bundle. And that really starts to make the whole proposition very powerful.
All right, Sachin, we've completely run out of time, but many thanks for joining us on Startup Street, and we wish you the very best for all your growth plans.
Thank you so much for having me.
On that note, it is time for us to head into a short break. But coming up next, Atomberg, a digitally native consumer appliances brand, has raised $86 million in its Series C funding round. We speak to Manoj Meena, the company's co-founder and CEO, to discuss their fund allocation plans, product pipeline, and more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Now, Atomberg, a digitally native consumer appliances brand, has raised $86 million in its Series C funding round, led by Temasek and Steadview Capital. Now, the round also saw participation from Trifecta Capital and existing investors, Jungle Ventures and Inflexer Ventures. The fundraise was a mix of primary and secondary issuances. The startup plans to use the funds to boost manufacturing capabilities, launch new products, and deepen its offline presence. Joining us now to discuss this further is Manoj Meena, the co-founder and CEO of Atomberg. And also with me is my colleague Shruti. Manoj, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Now, at Atomberg, you re-envision consumer appliances using technology. So how are you doing this? Take us through the various products you have on offer.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. So Atomberg is a technology-led, product-focused company. We have entered in this home appliance space with our revolutionary BLDC motor technology. And we utilize this BLDC motor technology in fan first. All the motor has different applications. We are trying to utilize the technology now in mixers and grinders. The beauty about technology is that it is super efficient in nature. And we have been continuously upgrading the technology for the last 7 years from generation to generation. Our latest product today are running on our latest generation, which is the generation 5. And when we compare generation 1 to generation 5, what we have achieved significantly is that we were able to reduce the form factor significantly, which has helped our design team to differentiate the product in terms of its performance, in terms of its look and feel. We have been able to integrate electronics, IoT, and number of small things which make consumer delight. So that has been significant achievement from product technology point of view. And now we are trying to apply the same thing in mixers and grinders and other home appliances which are waiting for us to innovate.
Okay. Hi, Manoj. Shruti here. Let's come to your Series C fundraise of $86 million. Take me through the fund allocation plans, what new products you're looking to launch, and most importantly, what are the new categories that you're looking to enter?
Yeah, Shruti. So fan itself need a lot of focus, right?
Yeah.
And we have recently introduced one new range on our portfolio that is called Aris. It is a very new launch from Atomberg side. We have tried to innovate in terms of making the portfolio smarter in nature. So the latest series is IoT enabled. You can control it from smart app. And more importantly, we try to also address noise problem. So the new series, the Aris series, is super silent in nature. It has better air delivery, better look and feel. We have done some kind of innovation on the product blade design. These are aerodynamically designed blades. And the material which has been used in the blades is also very different. So fan portfolio itself will be one of the key focus area. We are introducing new pedestal ranges of the product, exhaust ranges of the product. Coming to the new product categories, kitchen appliances is of our new focus area, and we have been working on this for last 3 years. We have introduced one product in kitchen appliances, which is mixers and grinders. Again, this is running on our brushless DC motor technology. The product has offered new features to consumer, like it has slow mode, which was not available in the traditional products. The power efficiency is also very good. The performance is also very nice. And now the idea is to improve our offering within mixers and grinders and similar product like mixers and grinders. We call them motorized food processors. So idea is to populate, bring a good portfolio around mixer, grinders, and motorized food processors. On top of it, we are also focusing a lot on smart home solutions. So this year, very recently, in last month only, we launched our first product in a smart home series, that is a smart lock. So the idea is to get into smart homes with security and surveillance as a entry strategy. So that is our first entry product into the smart homes today.
Right. Okay. So smart homes is something that you're looking to focus on. Fans will be the main focus. You will also want to use the funds that you've raised to boost your manufacturing capabilities. So where does the current facility stand at? What kind of investments do you need to build the capacity? Are you looking at greenfield expansion as well?
Yeah, Shruti. So very recently, like last year only, we have shifted our new facility to Pune. Okay. So it is a it was a greenfield project. Some of the investment has been made. So the facility is very advanced in terms of automation, in terms of process control. The production capacity of this new facility is up to 1 million fans, I would say, per month. That is the current facility. We are also trying to do a lot of automation and process control activities in terms of machinery and infrastructure within the same facility. So there is no plan for immediate new greenfield project. A lot to be done within the same manufacturing unit. And we have achieved something around 300 to 400,000 units monthly capacity already. But idea is to push it to up to maybe 1 million units in coming year.
All right. Manoj, you sell online as well as offline. Where are you seeing the most penetration, and what's the offline and online strategy going to be, going forward? Are you looking to deepen the offline presence, or will you sell via dealers or open your own stores?
When we got into fans, definitely our initial strategy was to play online, and we have done one good job in terms of online. We are still #1 brand on e-commerce, Amazon and Flipkart. But the majority of the market lies on offline. And finally, in 2019, we got offline. Today, we are present almost around 25,000 retail outlets across India. Some of the geographies are new where we are expanding.
We seem
distribution. And Yeah, and on quarterly basis, we are roughly adding 2,000 counters, new counters, quality counters, which can sell premium product like Atomberg and a smart product like Atomberg.
All right. Can you quickly give us a sense of where your revenues currently stand at and what's the road to profitability looking like?
Sure. I would go to financial year 2022. We closed around 355 crore revenue that year. Last year, although the report revenue has not been audited yet, but I would like to share you the range. It is roughly in between 600 to 700 crore revenue top line, and we closed last year, March 2023, with a top line of 100 crore. That is the monthly run rate. We ended last financial year. So we have been showing a consistent performance in terms of year-on-year revenue. We have been growing at 100% year-on-year this thing. And of course, we have hit a profitability as well. And this year, a lot of focus is around profitability, although we have been introducing new product categories into the market where we will incur some losses. But blendedly, we should be able to make good profits this year.
All right. So the focus will remain on profitability. All right, Manoj, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and we wish you all the best going forward.
With that,
thank you.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. Stay tuned for more news and updates on CNBC TV18.